We're recording. Hi, greetings everybody. Wesley Pepper. This is the Art Lexcia podcast. This is episode 167. So just a quick thing, just two announcements before I get to the brother, before I get to Tshepo next to me. Shit, man. This is probably the second last episode for the year. With me, I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, it's been a lot of episodes this year. I'm tired, bro. So this will be the second last. I'm waiting for another confirmation for another episode early next week. That'll definitely be my last gig that I'll be covering. Besides Tshepo's gig, and there's another show I want to cover in the Karoo towards, but that is more towards the long weekend. And I don't think I'm gonna be alive that time. I think I won't be the same. So I'm already making.
When is it long? Or the 16th?
The 16th. Actually, it's my old lady's birthday that time. But also, it's a bit far. I was gonna do a live broadcast. Maybe I still will, but I'll probably. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm tired, But anyway, enough complaining. As you can see, I'm sitting with Tshepo. I can see you got a fucking cool ass t-shirt there, my brother.
Thank you so much.
You got the Basquiat crown. Let's start off there. What's your relationship with Jean-Michel Basquiat? Are you a fan of his work?
Yeah, big fan.
What is it about his work that grabs you?
Well, more to do with how, like, him as a personality in terms of the space he came in and what he did in the space that he came in terms of there was not a lot of black people who were basically like doing popular work in the States in terms of how should I say, the type of work he does basically. So with him, I just love the paintings. I love what he does. Basically, after watching the documentary, which I didn't actually like.
Which one?
The Radical.
Radiant Child.
Yeah, Radiant Child. I didn't actually like it because there were a lot of shots there I felt were very racist and very weird because of there's one person saying that he saw Basquiat at the club and this guy had no money and he gave him money and that guy went to go paint like, oh, come on. And it sounds like such a lie. So his persistence is, yeah.
It's interesting. So he was like working as a street artist. 99.999% of street artists that I've worked with, that I've known, are all largely influenced by Basquiat. You were saying there, like, the thing in the 80s for sure, and then remember he made a ton of money, and that burnt him out. One other thing that and it'll lead to what we're talking here quickly, is his relationship with art galleries, because he had horrible relationship with every single art gallery.
Exploration.
Same here. I had an awful relationship with probably 100% of every gallery. That's why I don't fuck with no galleries no more. That's another topic for 2025. But talking about, we just offline, before we started to record, you were telling me about your frustrations about how exhibitions are working out. Now, I know with reclaiming the space, you've successfully gotten hold of a lot of young artists from Kimberley, and I throw a big up to that. That is fucking great, especially to get them all together in one space. I don't think that thing can't be overlooked. That is great, because that takes, just for my listeners, and if you listen to this platform, you're almost probably aware of it, for somebody to communicate with artists. I think people underestimate that skill, because artists are not like everybody else. We think differently, we everything differently. So to get all of those artists together, so you were talking about, you kind of want to break the, let's use a good word, the structure of an art gallery. So tell us a little about that. Tell us what you got in mind, and then we can talk about some of the artists that's featured as well. And
okay, so like I explained in the previous episode that what happens that part of these collectives of youth, they've been doing exhibitions like in the street, at the houses, or in the garage and stuff. So what we wanted to do was to have them also notice that, guys, you guys are doing basically the same thing, but in isolation. You're doing that there. Instead of us having to come all together, because we all basically cater to the same market, to the same people.
Yeah, man.
Because Kimberley is a very small town.
Yeah, man.
So there's just a few people interested in art itself. So let's rather come together and do something all together where we can actually maximize the buying of these artists, and not just for the point of just painting for the sake of painting, of aiming to hang painting just for the sake of it. So us having to do this exhibition was to also to highlight the extreme, like the what should I say, the talent pool in Kimberley, which is not being nurtured, because even for a lot of the artists which are going to be exhibiting, they are still in high school. Some of them are still young. Some of them is the very first exhibition.
The first
so for us, it's also a learning experience. We're trying to get into a space where I should say, we break down, like, because a lot of galleries require a lot of things for you to get in there. So we because we don't have those things, we're trying to build our own thing by having this festival.
On that, Nat, let me just add another thing to that. For sure, you were saying you want to get them all together. I want to talk more processes and structure and stuff like that. So you see, when I get them all together, you were told about your frustrations of the way at least in Kimberley for sure, at least the only major gallery, I won't call names, everybody knows who the fuck we're talking about, but me, I'm not gonna slander nobody on this platform. But how that gallery works, that people come in, you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes to say a speech that nobody really listens to. Nobody really listens to that, and then you go ciao, and then you leave.
And mind you that there's no culture of art. There's no culture of people buying art. There's no culture of exhibitions. There's no culture of, So you've got to educate the people on the processes of, let's say, what it takes basically for painting to have a certain price. You know what I'm saying? The process of an artist, what it needs for them to have their paintings hanging.
So tell me, what do you have in mind? How do you look to run that? How do you look to engage the community with art? What do you have in mind?
In terms of the exhibition itself? What we wanted to do, which was different, was to have a much more longer exhibition where, like I said, we're going to have like 30 artists. So what we want to do is to have like an introduction of all the artists, that they have them stand at their art pieces and explain the process, explain what inspired the paintings itself, which is something I think is very different from all the exhibitions I've been to, because of, it's like basically the exhibition starts, as soon as the exhibition starts, people start eating. So we want to move away from that, where we also engage and interact with the audience.
Are you going to be serving food?
Yes, for sure. There'll be food.
Yeah. I think it'll be but because people are used to it, so you have to meet them halfway.
There'll be food and drinks for sure. But
alcohol,
no alcohol.
So back in the day, I'm not like an old man, but like I remember in my early student days, especially the shows on Saturday, we would go. Well, I'm an artsy, so you go. I'll go look at all the art. I'll engage with that. But then I go engage with the red wine. And after engaging with that, I know now I've got enough, and now I'm ready for the rest of the day. So I know that also part of that, and this is something interesting because this applies to what I'm doing as well with Gallery 360 Africa, is that that type of atmosphere is what working class South Africans associate art galleries or art exhibitions with. So as I say, you must meet them somewhere. But like you say, you got to talk about processes. You got to talk about the art itself. I also think there's a certain language and a certain way you speak in internet, because the working class person don't really have the patience to listen to a long your dreams and how you conceptualize dream. They medium technique outcome, that type of thing. But I just want to take another level on that before we get to something else that I want to engage with, like some of the other artists that you featured. Pricing and sales. How are you looking to change that, and who's pricing the artwork? And I guess how is there or does the Reclaiming the Space sort of have a process in doing that, or you just everyone's bringing their work and you're putting it for that service?
Yeah, because it's like our first exhibition of this scale. Everybody's just you basically have to bring your own, you price your own. But like I said, some of them are beginners, so they also struggle with prices. So we have like all the experienced artists who are also part of that, working together with them in terms of like a workshop vibe where they help each other in terms
That's
of,
a good idea.
yeah.
So what pricing are we looking at for, let's say a standard, let's say a zero, A1, let's say an A1.
Well, there are even sculptures which are very expensive. Like one was like 5,000. Like I said, I will actually go and check all the prices of all, because we're doing the installations on Monday, the 30th, preparation for Thursday. So with that, we're gonna see the price, but the prices are not as expensive because they are beginners. They are base beginners.
Just another point on pricing. I also think that's a very important part of art, because the pricing is how people engage with it. If they look at something which has many zeros, firstly they might there's always that thing of how can you value this, but it's a bit abstract, and I can't really this for another platform, another episode. But that's also a kind of important thing. Another thing about pricing is, I mean, it is end of the year.
It's festive.
Yeah, people buy gifts. So if you're gonna buy a gift, it should be something that a price that a person can say, I can sort of afford this for somebody, as opposed to like it's an art investment, it's a long, that type of thing. So that I think is really important that you should workshop.
Yeah, we did actually advise them also not to price it too high, because like I said, the economy situation in the Northern Cape is not as grand as in other big cities. So people won't buy 50,000 rand artwork because of they can't.
Yeah.
So what I advised them was to like get the art out, so people can get to know your name. People can so you can at least move and not have these artworks stacked around in your house, and then what's the point?
Last question on the pricing before we move to the other thing. Are you taking commission of the artwork, or does the artist make 100%?
No, the artist will take 100%.
Okay, so
we're also actually gonna. I don't know if you've actually done. We're also gonna give them an honorarium, just thank you.
Oh,
yeah, to say thank you for exhibiting.
That's good.
Yeah, so like I said, we're trying to encourage the youth in Kimberley.
No, that's great. With regards to the other work, man, I mean, we were talking offline about some other artists we've got featured. There's the thing outside the installation, the
public performance.
The performances outside, next to the Cecil John Rhodes thing. There's the film and all of that. So, in the first recording, we spoke about a little bit of everything. So just take us like kind of through the program, about who's gonna be featured, kind of what what type of work then we're doing. Okay. So from the from the opening to the
all right. Yeah, so from, like I said, the art festival starts on the 4th and ends on the 7th. So on Wednesday, which is the 4th, we start at the Tshepo statue, where we will be doing a theater piece called Soul Multiply. So like basically him multiplying basically. So we also have like an interesting perspective which will be done by Caesar. Because a lot of images of Tshepo, you see him in a suit, so she's gonna come in with the perspective of he didn't actually like suits.
Interesting. Talking about Caesar Nkosi.
Caesar Nkosi will be one of the poets doing the theater pieces. So that's a perspective in terms of Tshepo not liking suits actually.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a true thing, but and also doing another piece at the at the Cecil John Rhodes statue, which is called a play on the word Cecil, which is cis, which is like a very common word. Yeah, cis and then not science.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty clever.
Yeah. So we also have another performance by an artist from Makanda by the name of Sikhumbuzo Makandula. will be doing.
Yeah, tell us a little bit what is in the video.
Well, he hasn't actually briefed us because he's coming in on Monday as well. So on Monday he will brief us in terms of what he got, but it's going to be something very epic.
Yeah, again, man, like I think we touched on this in the first recording. I think there should be more and more interaction with these statues and sort of to change the narrative in and around that. Because, yeah, as I said, like I think these statues got like, because it's been there for probably 80 odd, maybe close to 100
and
years.
what's interesting, every other one gets damaged. So Blackview one gets damaged, but Sausage on the Road, nobody can.
That's
and
a very
they even fenced it. They even put up a fence.
That was. I think if I remember correctly, that fence was put up during the Rosemars Fall protest, 2015, 2016. It was in around that time. I came back home for however long, and I had the space. The space stuff I wanted to stick up there. What did I? Anyway, I asked somebody around that, and they advised me rather to. Rather not to. And when I came, I went back. When I came back, I saw the fence around it.
Which is something.
Back then I was doing paste ups. So I used to work on brown paper. So we just had like wallpaper glue. I wanted to put it on and kind of look, man. I personally think Cecil John Rhodes, him and like David Livingston and these people were tyrants. I think that they changed Kimberley, South Africa, most of Southern Africa, politically and socially for hundreds of years. And their statues, the democratically elected government protects their statues. But as you know, like these statues have fallen in cities all over the world, in Bristol, in England, in the South, in the US, all over the globe. I think there's also a certain, I guess we must understand the history. I'm not for completely removing the statues, although I would, but I do think you must preserve history. I don't, because let me put it to you like this: the way I said, if the shoe was on the other foot. If African people went and let's say we colonized the UK, you telling me they would leave a black man statue up there? They would take that shit, they would recycle it, they would most probably use it for number plates or something generic, something. True. They won't leave it up there for years, but yet you see, I think the hypocrisy.
Yeah, there's just like this relationship between the oppressed, even like with like buildings like the museum or William Humphreys. There's a strange relationship between them and the oppressed people, where it's as if okay, now they're open for everyone to come in, but we still have that, there's this invisible barrier where people are like, nah. And these are not.
And they don't. Why aren't they telling our stories? I mean, these people are getting money to do that. And there are, academics from the US will come here and study our own people. They'll get money to come study our own people. I actually find that very insulting, because you don't get black people going to Europe to go and study white people. And we sure as fuck don't get funding for that. So if the hypocrisy around that, and what I also did, it doesn't sit with me, is when people are throwing money. They are documenting us as if we're some form of a species. We are not real people. So you must have a fucking academic to come look at us, to come probe, and to come study us. Personally, I've got huge problems with that. I don't like it, but it's kind of drifting us off topic, and it's kind of triggering me.
Sorry, and I think sometimes we also forget, even us as people of present day, that we gonna be ancestors in 500 years, man. So we don't even build monuments to document this time. We always concentrate on that. We don't even think that in 20 years of time you will be an ancestor to someone, and then someone will try to want to reference where was Wesley, what was he doing?
What was he doing? And
so
all you were doing is
right now, I don't even think in terms of the artistry in Kimberley that we engage politically. We were engaging the history.
We don't do that enough.
We don't do that.
We don't do that enough, and that's why I mean, like, I absolutely love what you the whole the way you conceptualize the whole program. But if that is the first day you got the art the following day,
Yes.
how is the festival wrapping up? Also explain to me that, and also just talk to me, because the last time we spoke about 2 weeks ago. It seemed like you're still running around. There was still a lot of other things that were
Yes,
still.
yes. Running a festival is not pop and place.
Yeah.
Yes, it is actually a weight losing.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You can meet, if you want to lose weight, do events.
That's a good one.
And then you'll be good. So yeah, it's been actually a very fun, exciting, scary as well, because of it's a very monumental task to do, especially for also a 4-day thing. So hey, we will see, man. I think we were given this task by our ancestors to do these things at this particular time. So there is a bigger reason as to why we should be doing this now.
Yeah, man. Like, all for it. Like, personally, I'm looking forward to it. I'm also I like art, so I'm always just looking at. I want to see what art it is. All the other stuff for me comes later. But sort of wrapping up. There's just a few things I want you to comment on. We also spoke, before the recording, about your take on the type of art that people are making in Kimberley. But I just want to give for my listeners some perspective on that. Look, from here, raised here, but I learned everything outside Kimberley. And I would say I became a man, quote unquote, outside, because when I left here, I was still very naive. And one of the things that that shapes the way artists processes in particular, but that's also to do with their consciences, is people who you're associated with. So if you're associated with a lot of professionals, especially very successful guys, people who are doing shows all over the world all the time, your approach to art changes, because now, I mean, you can sort of see what you can sort of become. Whereas if you, and this is not unique to Kimberley, not by a stretch, you can go actually even in South America, different parts of it's the same. Where if you sort of work in isolation, the energy you feed off are just normal working class people, and usually working class, they don't have time to engage with art. Capitalism takes away all your time. So when you do have free time, you either want to sleep or drink or all of the above. And art is sort of like lost on the list there. So, I think those type of perspectives are important. But just tell us, like, what type of, just give me your opinion, because you had some interesting stuff to say around that.
Oh no, the discussion was just around the type of work which is getting produced here by artists in Kimberley, in terms of the relevance of it, in terms of the importance to. Does it relate to the people in terms of, how should I say, politically? Does it relate in terms of historically? Does it relate in terms of, how should I say, are they changing the like, in terms of how poetry is done? Because, like I said, when I go to shows, you usually find like someone comes to the mic, they do a poem, which has been done for ages. So what we try to do with the festival, we try to ask artists to elevate their performances, to try to bring in a new element, like bring a band, bring something different to the art. Don't do what other people are doing, especially in terms of how should I say? I don't want to say topic or like themes, man. Like, let's try to engage, like, how should I say? Try to engage.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Let's try to engage people. Let's try to talk about everyday stuff. Let's try to talk about relevant stuff in our poetry.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Nah, man, that is again, man. That's great. That's great. But let's wrap it up, man. Can you just for those that didn't catch the first episode, give us the times and dates of everything.
Day 1, we start at 5, but be there at 4 by the municipality, and also apply to municipality statute. And then we're going to finish there at 8 by the Sisseton Road. And then day 2, we start at 4 o'clock at the Dagen Kronen Gallery, which is right behind the McGregor Museum in the same yard. So we start there at 4 and then finish at 8 with the exhibitions. And then the following day, we start at 10 with the market and a museum walkabout. So you can bring everyone from the family, bring the kids, bring everyone in the family to come do a museum walkabout, to come look at the art, because the visual art exhibition will still be on, to come look at performances. We have like performances from the Platfontein Dance Group, Ubuntu Development Foundation, which is also a Setswana dance group. We have performances from Sisonke Papu, who's an indigenous, traditional healer who works with sound. We also have another traditional healer who works with sound by the name of Mtwana Wenwele. He's also from Cape Town. And we also have a band from Cape Town called Assemble, which is like a jazz band, also coming down.
Fucking amen.
So it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a festivity.
Dope.
It's gonna be a festivity.
Yeah, man, if you listened that far, if you got this far in the episode and you appreciate this content, smash that like and subscribe button. Me, I appreciate that too much. Like I said in the beginning of the episode, this is probably the second last, maybe the third last, for the year. 2024 has been, I'm actually going to do a video on that. I'm going to do a video on just recap on 2024 and the people I spoke to and achievements and so forth. I think that's a point. But that's just for the Art Lexcia people. With regarding to the reclaiming space show.
Yeah, please do come. On the first day it's free, the second day is RSVP, and then the third and fourth day it's 50 Rand per day.
Dope, man. I wish you all the best. I hope this.
Thank you so much.
I hope you get people, locals, to come through and sort of to get them excited. For that, I think that'll be cool. But let's wrap it up with that, my brother.
Well, thank you so much for having me, man. Thank you so much for having me.
One love.
Salute.
No.